everybody, it's Stephen and Walter here for another episode of So Chatty, and it is episode number 78. It is episode number 78 as I swallow my tongue, and it's October 7th, 2022. Yeah, so what have we been up to? Well, Walter, what's the progress on my shirt?
Well, I'm up to having to do the buttons because I did get some done during craft and chat.
Oh, good. And
I have to do the buttons, yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, well, I'll do them on the weekend, I promise. I promise.
Yeah.
By Sunday, I'll have them done.
Yeah, don't hold your breath, but you may want to tune into Stephen and Walter live to see if he actually does have it done. Well, I have been very busy, as I always am, because I get up in the morning, and there's all these hours in a day that happen in the morning when you can get things done. Walter wouldn't know about that.
Well, yeah, but I don't do it at night because I don't want to disturb you.
Okay, that's just bull. Yeah. Anyways, any excuse on to what I have to show you. So let's do this and let's do this. Okay, so this is the Ugly Tulip Pink quilt. Yes, I am sorry, I've talked about this before, but this fabric is bloody ugly.
Actually, it looks like some lumberjack threw up on.
Yeah, well, lumberjack, I'm okay. I wonder how that goes. So I tried to spruce it up a little bit by adding those diamond pieces in the center where I did some gnomes just to break up the monotony and the ugliness. That didn't work.
Yeah,
it's still ugly. And it is now quilted, but I haven't got a picture of the quilted. I just did that yesterday. And yeah, I discovered something very interesting. And I know I'm going to get people make comments on this. I'd never quilted on flannel before. Well, you know what flannel does, or what your quilting thread does? It disappears into the flannel. Now, as I said, this picture does not show the quilting, so there's no quilting on this whatsoever at the moment. But the other one, it sinks into the flannel, and it kind of, there's an impression.
It kind of makes sense because if you embroider on towels,
I guess, yeah,
stuff like that, and if you embroider on fleece, it would go down. Now, flannel isn't as big a pile as fleece.
No.
But yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah, and on the back of it, it's just there's just an impression that there's quilting. Just if you looked at it and you could study it for a bit too, you go, is this quilted or isn't it quilted? But one saving grace, maybe, we'll see. I have a theory that when I wash it, it may puff up in the quilting parts. And so although you maybe not see the quilting the same, you'll see sort of still like the outlines and things. We'll see. I don't know. I really don't care because
it's ugly.
Yeah, it's ugly. It's just an ugly quilt.
You know any big ugly men that you give it to?
I'll give it to somebody I hate. I don't know. Dog blanket. Freddie.
Yeah, actually, it might be okay for her.
Might be okay for a dog. Maybe Freddie. Freddie is our niece's Doberman. Freddie's a big dog. So this is fairly good size for that. But we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. It's an experiment. I've got my binding all made for it. I just have to put that on. So at some point this weekend, I'm hoping to get that on. Then wash it, then see what it looks like. Also, I've never made a quilt with flannel before. And
hey, can you use it as a design board?
On the back side. There's an idea. That's a possibility.
There's flannel on the back.
Yeah, there's flannel on the back too. So there are possibilities. But anyways, yeah, I don't think I'll be doing something like this again, at least not in tulip pink. It's surprising that tulip pink, this stuff is tulip pink.
Well, maybe she has her name on it, but she didn't actually design it.
Maybe. I don't know.
It does look pretty bizarre for it. The only part that looks kind of like tulip pink is the one with the dogs on
with the glasses on them. Yeah, I know. Well, we'll see. I don't know about it. So yeah, whatever. You learn. These are things. I'm not that disappointed in it. I mean, in the sense that, okay, when I bought it, okay, I'm an idiot. When I bought it, I saw it done. She had one in the store. This was designing, what's that place called? The first one we went to, designing something.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the one you saw was slightly different. And
No, same fabrics, the whole bit. She showed
uh,
it to me. Yeah. And at the time I thought, well, what I thought at the time was this will be simple to make and it'll be another one I can add to like quickie Christmas presents kind of a thing or whatever with it. And then when I got it all together, I went, yeah, it's boring. I did think of doing custom quilting in each one of the blocks, but the problem was I put those other diamond pieces on
yeah,
with the gnomes in them, and it would have been tricky to do the custom. I mean, I couldn't figure out how to do eclipses with custom. Eclipses where you tell it where
yeah,
not to go. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but I haven't done it yet. And to be honest, I didn't really want to spend the time to figure it
yeah,
out because I didn't figure it was worth it
yeah,
for this. I just wanted it done and
yeah.
gone, sort of thing. So, anyways, these are how you figure out things. You know, you have to experiment, you have
It
to
makes
play.
a good picnic blanket too.
Yes, it could, whatever. We go on so many picnics,
Yeah, I know.
especially this time of the year, but whatever. Okay, my Christmas socks, I've been working on those, and I did a freestanding lace in variegated thread snowflakes on them, and I didn't sew those on, I glued them. I use fabric glue because I hate hand sewing, and the fabric glue holds anything. So anyways, there's some of them. I've actually got 8 made like this since I took this picture. But then today, Juju Designs, which is where I got this in the hoop design, they came out with 2 more sets, 4 different ones in each set, and they were on sale. So I bought those, and I'm making those, and maybe I'll get those done sometime in the near future and show you what those look like. They're a little bit different design. They have one of a Santa Claus peeking up over the edge of it. It's kind of cute. And there's one that's done in sort of a Nordic Scandinavian kind of design, embroidery on it. And I forget what the other two, I think one has a reindeer and one has, I'm not sure what the other one was. But anyways, we'll see. Again, these are something for potential Christmas presents, maybe stuff some things in them or something and give them to people, whoever. I don't know. Or I'll have them stacked up for next year. The neighbors. Oh, maybe the fat boys next door. Fill it with piggy things.
Oh yeah.
Like bacon, whatever. Oh, we're nasty. Um, and do I have anything else? Oh, yes. Okay, so we're going to my sister's for Thanksgiving dinner because, yes, Americans, it is Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend. Ours always comes before yours. And my sister lately has been into Halloween, so I thought, yeah, I'll make her some Halloween napkins. And I made the napkin rings are pumpkins, and I made those on my 3D printer. And as we speak, I'm making more napkin rings, but ones for Christmas that look like reindeer antlers. I'll show you those when I get the napkins made. I do these are quick to do. You just cut your fabric, 2 layers of the same fabric. You can do is different. Then I put them on the serger, do a rolled hem around it with the serger. That takes like seconds basically to do, and you have napkins. So I think they're kind of neat. And you will notice that the black ones or the gray ones, there's gnomes, gnome witches and wizards on those if you look at it closely. So I'm all about the gnomes, as everybody knows. Okay, so that takes me to talking about retreat update. I now have 80 people registered for the retreat. I can handle about 92. So I have 12 places left. So if you're really thinking that you want to go, make up your mind and reserve your spot now for it, because very soon I'm going to have to start a waiting list for it. So the response has been really good. That's on October the 22nd. All the details are in the show notes. There's some links to a video and to a document that'll tell you more about it. I don't know how you wouldn't know about it. I've been talking about this for weeks on everything. So yeah, but it's filling up very quickly. Okay, we had craft and chat this week. That was fine, went nice. I think we had a new record for number of people at a craft and chat. I think we were over 20 at one point, which was really nice. And I think everybody had a good time. And so that's okay. Yeah, that's all I need to say about that stuff. Do you have any updates? Aren't you contemplating taking a sewing class?
No, yeah,
No, yeah.
the group that I was doing sewing classes with is going to be doing a man's vest, and I have no desire to do a man's vest,
Who in
and
their
I
right
don't even really want to. Sometimes with these sewing projects, I'll say, yeah, I don't really want to do it, but I'll do it just to get the experience doing it. But this is the first project that I've had that I have absolutely no interest in doing. And the other thing is that if I did decide to do it just for the experience, it will cost me quite a bit of money in materials to make the vest.
So what's it? What
And
are they making? Is there like a silk
it's like a
back to it?
suit vest with a silk
So it's got like a
or
silk
a
lining
satin
or
belt
satin or whatever it is. Yeah.
on the inside, and you'd have to have like suit type material for the front, and that can add up. I mean, it could easily run you $200.
Who wants to wear?
Well, what
one of those
happened
now?
was the teacher, the Wardrobe by Me, decided to put this pattern out, which is a company in
Is it-
Denmark, I think,
Is it Denmark?
and they had this. They were putting out this vest, and a man's vest, and I don't know how many men just go wear vests that often, but anyway,
Only in the movies.
yeah, and so they decided to do that, and the teacher of our sewing class was asked to what do you call it, demo it, or what do you call try it out, try the pattern out, test the pattern. Actually, it's a pattern test, right? So he agreed to do that for the lady, and then he showed it on his showed that it finished product, and 3 women in our group expressed an interest for their husbands. I don't know what their husbands
Yeah,
feel
what do
like
their
about
husbands say?
but neither Steve or I are really interested in it. I wore 3-piece suits when I was in the 80s.
Yeah.
In the 80s, when I was working full time in a company, and had to wear a suit every day with a vest and everything else. I'm done. I don't want to wear a vest.
Yep.
Not only that, my body shape doesn't really
No.
accommodate well for a vest
No.
these days. When I was in my 80s, I was slim.
When you were in your 80s.
When I was in the 80s, I was slimmer, and it fit well then. But
Now,
I have no desire and no interest in wearing a vest right now. So
and the other thing too is, where would you wear it? Like, where do we go where, yes,
nowhere,
you must have a vest?
nowhere. I have no reason. Actually,
I
I
don't
don't
even have
wear.
a suit anymore.
I mean, I have a suit, but I don't know if I can get
Oh,
into it.
well, I have a suit, but I know damn all right I can't get into it.
So
It's my wedding suit.
yeah, well, actually, I was
17
on the
years ago.
same
Yeah, same.
weight as I was then.
What, you were?
Yeah. Now
What, in one leg?
No, but anyway, I don't
Shape's not.
I
the
don't
same.
have any desire to do this.
No.
And have no.
Well, there's also an ironic twist to this too. Didn't he say he wasn't going to do any more of her
Yeah.
patterns because she's what, a bitch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Wardrobe by Me, he told me that he didn't want to test any more of her patterns because she is not very good with criticism of her patterns. So, which kind of negates the process of testing a pattern.
Well, yeah, if you're testing it, isn't that so you can give the person feedback? So
Right,
they can
but
make
she
adjustments?
She doesn't take
That's good
feedback well,
feedback.
so
Okay. So, but he's just a boy who can't say no, I guess.
yeah. And he also said that he wasn't really interested in teaching any more of our classes because he said there wasn't really anything new to teach. Well, I suppose the vest is a new thing to teach,
Yeah.
but it's not something that neither Steve or I really want to
No.
have. I'll make it, it'll hang in my closet, and I'll never wear it.
Yeah.
As it is, my suits are hanging in the closet and I never wear them. So
Well, we don't go to anything that constitutes a suit.
yeah.
And even if you do go anything now that's formal, very few things, unless it's really, really formal, do people wear suits.
Yeah.
You know, anymore. It's kind of like ties. Ties have gone out.
So I don't know. It's not something that really appeals to me. I have yet to turn them down. I gotta write them a message today and say, nope, not for me. Sorry.
Not going to do that. Never mind. Yeah. So maybe you
I
need,
don't have a wife that dresses me funny either.
yeah, true. What is
Three
it?
the three people that have said it said, "Oh yeah, my husband would love one of those."
No, did you
And
ask your husband?
I don't know if I haven't asked their husbands.
Well, a couple have made some things before that their husband looked when
Yeah,
they took a
well, they've
picture of.
done a couple of things that the women have done a couple of things, and then they put their husbands in it and showed the picture, and the husband sort of looks not like it's like putting a vest on a dog and
Well,
or antlers on a
it does.
cat.
Yeah, antlers on a cat. We've done that. Yeah, been there, done that.
I mean, they're standing there in their new shirt and they do not look happy.
No. Well, geez, yeah, they go to some place wearing this and they go, "Oh, that's interesting." Yeah, my wife dresses me funny.
I could see if you were into steampunk, when you
Yeah,
dressed up in
yeah.
costume and stuff like that, that would be a good place to have a vest. But if you're not into doing costumes or something like that, then I don't really see any interest in
Well,
it
you
for
see
me.
pictures in magazines of these model types that wear a vest with a hat. And they're like skinny, skinny little minis, and they're like 20 something. And
Yeah.
when you're 20 something and you're skinny, you can get away with anything no matter
And
where you're
there
going.
are some people that have that style where
Yeah,
they like
that kind of
wearing
thing.
that kind of thing, but I'm not that kind of style person.
Kind of style person are you?
T-shirt and shorts.
Yeah, I know. Hmm. Whatever. So, okay, well, maybe you need to find another kind of class.
Yeah.
Maybe you can take up knitting. It's like you've done
I've
it
already
before.
done that before. I don't know. I don't wear sweaters much anymore either, so
No,
and I don't know of anything else I'd want to make that's knitted.
no. Well, anyways. Um, okay, so speaking of making things, we thought today we'd talk because I've decorated for Halloween and got out all the things that we have made for Halloween and stuff. And I didn't used to be a Halloween decorator, but I made these things and Walter's made some of them too. And so I thought, well, I guess we are Halloween decorators now. So I thought I'd show you, I'll show you a picture of what I'm talking about. And then I thought we'd talk a little bit about the ins and outs of doing these kind of things on your embroidery machine. Because I know a lot of people have voiced an interest. They say, oh, that looks really cool. How do you make it? Well, is it hard? Yes and no. There are tricks to it. And so we thought we'd talk about these, looking at actual things that we've made with the Halloween theme. So let me just switch us over here to the screen. Okay, this is our coffee table in our family room. And you can see how I've got that decorated. The houses are in the hoop embroidery things. You do them in pieces. They do take a while. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. The skeletons and those I think I bought at the dollar store, and the same with a couple of those pumpkins as well. One of the pumpkins I made on a 3D printer, and the little green ghost, he was made on a 3D printer as well. And in the background over, you can see my Halloween quilt on the couch. But on one of the tables over there, you'll see some things peeking up. All of those they're not machine embroidered. Those are done on 3D printer. But over on the other side, you see these little lanterns, and you can put a little tea light in them or whatever and make them glow. But those are all in the hoop projects as
Hey,
well.
didn't you do some embroidery pumpkins?
Yeah, I didn't take a picture of it.
Oh,
Well, I do have more pictures, but I'm saving those for another time where more up to detail ones. And yes, there is one that's I've got a couple of pumpkins that I made as well that are all in the hoop embroidery. And you're going to see an example of those in a moment because I'm going to take you to the websites that have all these things. So if you don't know what freestanding embroidery is, it is what it says it is. These are things that actually are three-dimensional. You make them in pieces, and then there's a system, we'll talk about that in a minute, whereby you put the pieces together and you see like the houses that are standing there, kind of a thing. There's a lot of these kind of things, not just for Halloween, but for Christmas, for Easter. And actually, I do enjoy making them, but I'll tell you right off the bat, they take a long time to make. They're not
right.
something you're going to make in 1 hour. Like, it's more like days.
Yeah, they're very time consuming. They will use a lot of thread.
Yes.
But I mean, not a terrible amount of thread. Like, I mean, I think for I did those two houses on either side,
Yeah.
and I think I went through an entire 1,000 meters of black
Yeah.
thread on that, which isn't terrible. It's a spool of thread,
Yeah. Spool
but
thread.
and in those there's also fabric as
Fabric.
well.
Yeah, they're actually called freestanding applique or FSA, freestanding applique. There's something also called freestanding lace. Freestanding lace is totally embroidery thread. Freestanding applique is a combination of embroidery thread and fabric as well. But the machine does all the appliquing for you, and it puts embroidery stitches on top. Like if you look at the house in the middle, the roof, the shingles, that's all embroidered on top of a piece of fabric. So that kind of thing. But yeah, so there's certain stabilizers you have to use. Like usually with these kind of things, you use water soluble stabilizer. Although you could use tearaway too, if you since you're not going to really see the backside of these. But I use free water soluble stabilizer, which is basically a glue in a sheet, and it holds the stitches and everything together, but then you rinse it out. And depending on how much of that you rinse out will depend on how soft your pieces are. So in something like this, you want your pieces to be very stiff. So I just rinse out enough so you can't see it, and then you let it air dry. You might hit it with a steam iron just to flatten it out a little bit, and that holds the shape. But you could do it in tearaway as well, in a heavy tearaway. It's just so much easier on the water soluble because you dump it and let it dry. You don't have to be
Yeah,
peeling
I
paper off it.
used the water soluble
Yeah.
too when I did them.
So, anyways, where do you get all these things? Well, my online embroidery files of choice is a company called OESD, Oklahoma Embroidery and Stitch Design,
Something like
something like that. Anyways, they've been around for 100 years. They're probably the best place to get things from. They do have a couple of subsidiaries. They have,
Isn't it usually sold through a place called Embroidery Online?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's called Embroidery Online, actually. If you just do a search, Embroidery Online, you'll find it. And they have thousands of embroidery files for any system. We have Janome machines, but if you've got a brother, if you've got a
Bernina.
baby lock, whatever, Bernina, whatever your embroidery machine is, you can get files for that. Price wise, well, you'll see here in a second. They vary, but they have sales all the time. So, for example, those socks that I bought today, they were on sale for $7.75. And you got two different patterns in a set for $7.75 American. But that was half price. Normally they were $15 for them. So, you know, and
Yeah, and basically you're just buying the pattern.
yeah.
And then you still have to, you know, obviously
Well, you obviously have to have your own
add your
thread
own
and,
thread
and your own fabric and stuff like that. But let me go to the first one so we can see these in a little bit more specific detail. So we were talking about the houses. So I here am on the Embroidery Online. And by the way, the link for all of these will be in the show notes below if you're kind of interested. Now, this is the complete collection. We don't own the complete collection. And you can see right now it's on sale. It's $175.75 for all of those houses that you see there.
We have basically the three colored houses.
Yeah, we have the three colored houses. And I think they ranged in price. Because you can buy them individually. You don't have to buy the complete set. Well, I can't find it right now, but you can buy them individually, and I think they run around $29.99. They might even be $34.99. It depends. Again, yes, it is pricey for these kind of things because of the detail that's in them. But if you hang on, you might be able to get a sale. So you see, they're saying manufacturer suggested retail price is $219 for this. They've got it supposedly on sale for $175. That's not on sale. That's the price that they charge. A lot of places put this manufactured suggested retail price up to make you think you're getting a bargain. I guess you are, but it's the regular price in this case. But you can see the different ones that they have here, and they have close-ups of them. That's one of the ones that we have.
Yeah, I made that one.
Okay, can I switch over? Well, that shows you in the bigger. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, wait, here we go. I can do this. Yeah, so there's the whole village. That one's kind of cute.
Yeah, I didn't. That one's a newer one.
Yeah, that's newer. This is for the collection for 2022. They add to it all the time. That one
No, that's a newer.
That's a newer one too. We don't have that one.
That's the one you did.
I did that one.
And that's one I did.
And that's the other one you did. Yeah.
And I did that
and
one.
that one. So there's 3 now in this collection that we don't have at the moment. 2. And I'm not going to run out and get them.
No.
Because I've got enough of them now. But you can see the variety. Now, just while this picture's up, let me grab one of the other ones to show you how they actually hold together. Looking for a picture that might be a little clearer for that. None of these pictures really show it very well.
That one, no, the first one that you just did.
What, that one?
No, back. Go back. That one that shows you the knobs.
Oh yeah, here. You see these little knobby pieces popping up? They have, it stitches into them. On some pieces, you'll get this eyelet.
Like a hole.
A hole, yeah. But it's all reinforced around. And the machine does that automatically. It's part of the design. And then you have these, that's called the eye. And then you have buttonettes. Buttonettes are these little knobby things you see sticking out of there. And that's how you hold it together, how you put it together. There'll be slots in parts of them too for certain pieces. Like there's probably a slot with a tab for this roof panel that's here that slides inside and you can't see it. The only problem is when you start putting them together, it gets really tricky because as you're putting an eyelet in one spot, another one that you already had put in is popping out on another. But you can buy little alligator clips. And the idea is you stick them through the hole, grab them with the alligator clip as you're putting the other ones together, and it holds everything together. Then you can take them off. But these eyelets are very tight. So, and OESD sells these, but if you can get to some place like a surplus place that has medical equipment, they're basically alligator hemostats. And I can show you what those look like. I have a pair right here. This is what they look like. They call them alligator because you see little talky thing, great for nose hairs, plucking out things and that. But this allows you to grab those little knobby things and pull them up through the hole.
It allows you to stick the end through the hole and then open the end up so that you can grab onto the little knob type thing. And then you can pull the whole thing back through again, right? And you can do that. There are other ways you can do it. I have done it by using a stiletto and that, but sometimes you end up poking yourself with stiletto, and it can be very tedious to do it that way. And and instead of using the alligator clips, you can stick a pin through the button to try and hold them in place. But these button holes are these button ats are very, very tight, and it is difficult to even get a pin through them. Yeah.
So you can buy the alligator clips and these hemostats from OESD. But if you can get the alligator clips on Amazon, they're actually meant for electrical wiring kind of a thing, electronic projects. But you can get a big bag of them from Amazon for a lot less than what they're charging you on OESD. And you can probably get a pair of these from Amazon as well. They're fairly readily available. But if you're going to do a lot of this, I recommend that you get these. It will help you. And then when you're finished doing one of these projects, what a good thing is to do is to take a little drop of fabric glue and put it on the end of each little knobby that comes through the hole. That'll secure everything. Now, if you want to take them apart after you've had them up, it's for storing, to store them flat, then you don't do that.
No, but once you put one together, you
wanna
don't
take
really
it
want to take it back apart again.
No, you don't want to do that again. No, you'll find places to
It
store
takes a while for you to put them together.
Yeah. So those are some tips about that kind of thing. So that's the ones that the Haunted Village. They actually have a Christmas Village too that they add to every year. And I've thought about starting it over time. You can buy the whole village for $500 American because there's a lot of pieces in it. And yeah, no.
I don't know if I'd want to do it.
Well, I'm sure I would never get it all done.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's this coming up? Yeah, maybe later. All right, so that's that. Now, I didn't have a picture of this, but I have made this. It's the Witch's Cauldron. And the idea is you can put things in it. And I put candy in it, just filled it up actually, just before we went online. You can see that this is what they call a freestanding lace, FSL. And the reason it's freestanding lace is because there's absolutely no fabric in this. This is all embroidery thread.
Yeah, and you use water soluble there for because it ends up the water soluble stabilizer washes away, so you have the holes, right?
Yeah, and you can put a little tea light in it if you want it to make it look like it's glowing in the dark, kind of a deal. Same idea. It's made in panels, so you can see here we've got the eyelets and the buttonettes, and the whole thing to hold it together. The reason I use fabric glue on it as well, because the fabric glue dries clear. You could use just ordinary, white glue as well.
It'll dry
clear as well. You don't need very much. It's just enough to keep it from, like if you pick them up or that, so they won't.
So the eyelets don't, the buttonets don't come out of the eyelets. Yeah.
But I fill it with candy, of course, with it, and it looks, it's cute. It's cute. Now you might wonder how long something this size takes to make. Hours.
Hours, yeah.
Each one, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 6 panels in this. This would be a panel all in here. I think it takes at least a good hour or longer for one of those panels. So, this is not the kind of thing that you get and go, oh, I'm going to a party later today. I'll just make this cute little hostess gift and fill some candies in it. No, you got to give yourself.
You have to have time to put it together.
Yeah, the putting it together,
and you have to wash a stabilizer out and let it dry.
And then you have to let it dry. You have to let each piece dry before you can put it together after you've washed that stabilizer.
And it's thread intensive. It'll take a lot of your thread.
It's going to use a lot of your thread, and you will have thread breaks, and you may have thread jams, because that's just the way in the hoop or embroidery machine embroidery just works. Yeah. So, but and this one cost wise a little bit more, a little cheaper than the other ones because it's not as involved. $13.72 American. And here you can see all the available formats. So we have a Janome machine, so we get the files that end in JEF. But if you have a Brother, I think Brother is PES.
I think Bernina is very flexible. They even take Jeffs and
do they?
And stuff like that. Yeah.
So Husqvarna right here, HUS. I'm not sure what these other ones are.
Yeah.
Now this is interesting here though too. For those of you that have a Cricut or a Silhouette, they usually will cut SVG files. So oftentimes with a lot of these, they produce an SVG file, which this one does. That means you could put it on your electronic die cutter and you could make this out of heavy duty construction paper or cover stock kind of a thing as well. So you see that it's not just limited to machine embroidery. The only thing is, I don't think I would attempt something this intricate as an SVG because I don't know about you, but I didn't have a lot of luck with my Cricut when it came to cutting out tiny little pieces, and it's no time saver, believe me. That would take just as long.
And also in this picture where you're showing this cost for this project, it is also has the optional thing of buying the alligator clips,
Yeah.
and alligator clamps on there, which are probably more than what you would have to
Oh,
pay
I didn't
if
pay $30
if
American.
you order them from Amazon or something. So
No, no, I paid maybe. Well, I don't think I even ordered mine on Amazon. I think we were in a surplus store and I saw them there and I
yeah,
picked them up, and I think I picked them up for like $10 Canadian.
yeah.
So that's high. That's really high. The other thing that's nice too is they give you a description and they show you the parts. So here are all the individual pieces that go into this. So you have these two, and these two, and this is the bottom, and then these are little things that hold on the side. They're little embellishments, sort of, this is sticking out here, you know, like little handles kind of a thing. um so it's nice to show you all the different pieces. Of course, they always show you related products, like there's the clamps. You can buy their tea lights if you wish, and I'm not sure if that's for, I think that's for a package of 4, but again, you can get them cheaper on Amazon. And then of course they have the what they call aqua mesh, which is what we call the water soluble stabilizer. That's expensive. 10 yards, $32.95. We buy ours from Montreal. You've heard us say that before. And I buy that
And
for $99 Canadian for a 100 yards.
yeah.
So
Now you if you go take a look on Amazon, there are other manufacturers also that are selling water soluble stabilizers that are probably equally as good
yeah,
that you can get
yeah.
if you don't want to go to like Canadian store like Montreal or something like that.
Yeah. This is a little misleading, and I find they do this. They say it's 4 designs. Makes you think, oh, I can make 4 different ones of these. No, these are your 4 designs. They're not a design, they're the parts
Yeah.
for it. So you got to watch that. Very good idea to read the information, and they do give you sewing information as well. In this one's case, not a lot. Sometimes there's more. Usually,
There's a preview for sewing information
yeah.
there, so
So
yeah,
here so this comes along with it, and it shows you step by step how to put everything together. Tells you what you need for it, shows you each stage of the game, how to assemble it, etc. So they're very good at that as well. So you're not left in the lurch, not knowing what to do. So yeah, so that's the Witch's Cauldron. I made that.
and actually that works. The example of this witch's cauldron is similar. The example of the pattern is similar to like the houses would have the similar pieces. They would show you the pieces and they would show how it all goes together. So
they show you all how to do it. And there may even be a few videos available as well. Okay, so this one you didn't see a picture of, but I do have it hanging on my front door of our house right now. This was a freestanding lace. Again, no fabric in it. It's all strictly embroidery thread, and it makes a skeleton. And you put this one together a little differently. For each of his joints, you put it together. I use those, I'm not sure what they call them, but you know those little copper-headed or brass-headed brads? They're called brads, where they've got the little prongs and you spread the prongs. That's what I put mine together with, and that holds. It also allows you to, you know, bend these around to shape them in whatever way you want. Now, I'm not really sure what they recommend that you use. I think that's what they recommended. Just go down here and see. Again, they're showing you all the parts that are involved. Again, it looks simple, and it is simple, but each one of these individual parts takes some time to do. So, you know, you got to give your time. It's not expensive, $8.23 American for it. And then sewing information. I just wanted to go the same idea. They show you all the parts. They show you the colors you can use. You can make them any color you want. Talks about how to do it. And I'm just going to see, they give you a diagram for how to attach it together.
yeah, this is mini brads for
Mini brads, yeah, that's what I used. Anybody who does paper crafting in that, I'm sure you know what mini brads are, but they're just those, you can get them at like a office supply store, or if you go into a crafting store, there's a better selection because you can get them in different colors and a little smaller than the ones that go in that you would use for this too. Okay, let's go back to now the freestanding pumpkin, which I didn't have a picture of, but I have made a couple of these. These are a lot of fun. So basically, you're making yourself a jack-o'-lantern. Or they do have designs like you see here, and they've added some more this year to their collection that are just more decorative. Like if you're looking for something for fall decor, not specifically Halloween. I have two. I have one that's a jack-o'-lantern. I have one that is a more, not this one. I think actually the other one I have is the one they're showing in the back here. But they have a little stem that comes off the top of them too. And I'll show you what they show for the pieces. So here's all your pieces. And there's quite a few pieces. When you first look at it, you're thinking, oh, well, that's pretty fast. Now this one might have more than one design.
Yeah, I think there's
yeah, there's 26 designs. It says
if you
so.
look in the box in the middle there.
Oh yeah, these are
that's the different variations you can make.
Yeah. So all those pieces I just showed you don't go all into one, but they're kind of, they can look very elegant. These do take fabric. So they're freestanding applique. That's what they call, and the leaves and the stems are all completely embroidered. This one, you can see the long curly Q. It's the one I have. Actually, there's only three. These are, no wait, no, these are all different designs. So you have the choice within when you buy the pattern, and sometimes they have a little video. It works. Well, it's not working. I'm not sure why. Okay, that one's not working. So could be my system, it might be them, I don't know. But sometimes they do include a little video that shows you in quick time how to put it all together. And that one runs, now that's an expensive one, $41.19.
But I guess there's kind of saying that you've got six
different patterns with this as well. So that's what makes it more expensive. But again, watch for sale. Get on their mailing list so that you'll get notifications when they're having a sale on something or what new products they have coming out. You basically will get one email from them a day by doing that. Let's see where it's saw that one. There's another one here. Freestanding Haunted Mansion. Wait, that's the village. I already showed that. So we've seen, we haven't seen the lanterns. Where are the freestanding? Okay, give me a second here. I thought I had the link in from that. Standing, oops, that's stinking. Standing.
No,
it's because I'm bending over here trying to do this. Freestanding.
No, lace. Late.
Lant.
No, it's okay. No, you're okay.
Lanterns.
No, lantern. No.
Well, it'll find it. No, it didn't. I'm an idiot. Okay, just bear with me, people. Free. Stand. Ding. Lant.
ERNS.
NS. Yes, okay, fine.
Here
we go. Okay. Yes, these. Now you saw a picture of these that I had made. And this one I think you get all, they say there's 12 designs.
Yeah, it looks like there's 4. Actually.
There's only really 4. Yeah. There's only the 4. I don't know why they're telling you
there's 12 different designs that get embroidered.
Yeah.
Right. But there's only 4 actual lanterns that it makes.
Now these have fabric in them as well. But they're kind of fun. They look really great when you have a little light in them as well. Again, they're going to take you some time to make, but they're fun. They're not huge. They only stand, I don't know, do they give dimensions? They don't give a lot of information on this one about these. Oh, it might be in the. And you can buy these individually too. You don't have to buy the complete collection. That's what it was showing there.
So why don't you just go take the bat lantern for instance.
Like this one.
Yeah. So yeah, so
And it's not, but it gives you an idea of,
Yeah.
and you can do them any color you want.
yeah.
You don't have to stick to what they suggest with
Go
it.
back to the freestanding lace little Halloween lanterns back.
On my cursor.
Yeah, go back to that.
What, these ones?
Yeah. And then scroll down a bit.
Oh yeah, here's so yeah. Lantern measures between 4.5 inches to 7.25 inches tall. They're various sizes. And here's your what's included in this collection.
Yeah.
So, and you see here, you've got some that are tall and skinny as well. So there's a variety. They look really great when they're all grouped together with the lights in there, and they're kind of cool. And again, you will get the sewing information that will show you how to assemble. Embroidery Online, their thread brand of choices. Isacord, I use Floriani. You use whatever.
And I use the Montville stuff, the Super B stuff.
Yeah.
So.
So this gives you a better idea of what the, like you can see here, these are what I'm calling the buttonettes and the eyelets, how these fit together.
It looks like these projects can be done in either freestanding lace or freestanding applique.
Applique. Yeah, sometimes, yeah. This one, yeah, right here. This is all
Lace.
This one is done with fabric and embroidery on top of it. So it's whatever you want to do. So it shows you all the parts, and then it tells you how to put it all together. So that's the one advantage of this company. They really do take time to give you detailed instructions. Now, once you've done one of these kind of things, essentially anything that's a freestanding lace or a freestanding applique work the same way in terms of assembly. So
yeah, it's nothing too scary about it. So.
no. So that gives you some ideas of things. Of course, Christmas, there are tons of things for Christmas on here as well that work in the same manner as this. So, you know, but now's the time. Now's the time. And this is when they're having sales. They're having sales on some of the Christmas items too. So my recommendation to you, if you're interested in this kind of thing, first of all, pick something that is easy for your first time to do. Like not a lot of pieces to it. Looks fairly straightforward. And that'll give you a feel for how they go together. The other thing too is sign up for their notifications, because that's how you're going to find out about the sales when they come up. And leave yourself lots of time, because if you want to use them for home decor, say for Christmas time or that kind of thing, you want to start making them now with it. And if you're giving them as gifts or something like that, yeah, you can.
Yeah, like I mean, they had one that one year that they did was a nutcracker.
Yeah,
and it took a few days to get it to embroider out and
yeah,
and put together. It's very time consuming.
now it's a great way, at least on the ones of the freestanding applique, you can use scraps usually, because most of them do not take a lot of big pieces of fabric
Yeah.
with it. So if you've got a stash of scraps, and who doesn't, you can use your
Yeah.
scraps in this kind of thing.
Yeah, a lot of times it just takes little tiny pieces of fabric and that to make a segment of it.
And another thing too is a lot of time on some of these designs, especially on the freestanding lace ones, they will recommend that you use the same bobbin color as your top thread. I never do. I use white bobbin thread, and because of the way that they're produced, you don't really notice it. Now, if you're really, really picky that you want both sides to look exactly the same, then you may want to match your bobbin thread with your top thread. But to date, I think I only ever did that once, and it means you're gonna wind your bobbin.
I did use was it on some of those houses. I used
Yeah.
the black bobbin on them, but I could have easily done the white bobbin
Yeah.
because of the parts that really don't. The only parts that maybe are important for the bobbin color to be that way is if you see both sides of the embroidery at the same time.
Yeah.
A lot of times all you do is see the one side of the embroidery, so it wouldn't matter.
But I have found even on the ones that you'll see both sides, like they have
Yeah.
Christmas tree ornaments, they might
Yeah.
get spun around or something. I have found it doesn't make any difference
Yeah.
because of the way that the thread goes over. It covers up the bobbin thread on the other
Yeah.
side a lot too. It's kind of hard to explain until you've actually done it. But they will recommend that you match the bobbin thread with it. And I mean, to be honest, that's a lot more time, you know, winding bobbin.
Yeah, and actually, if you do that, I recommend not to use your embroidery thread as the bobbin thread
No.
because sometimes machines are finicky as to trying to use the bobbin thread being the embroidery thread. You're better off trying to get, if you're doing a red top, trying to get a red regular thread as your bobbin thread.
Yeah, with it. So, but anyways, you will learn. Don't be afraid to try it though. I mean, I know some people said, "Oh, I could never do that," you know, and yes, you can.
Yeah, actually, it's amazingly easy.
Yeah, it is really.
Even I can do it.
Yeah, even Walter can do it. So there you go. But it is it. Once you've done your first one, that's why I recommend.
And they're fun to do.
Yeah, they are fun to do. They will be time consuming though. Okay, so yeah. So anyways, I thought we'd share that with you today because 'tis the season for Halloween, and I've got all my Halloween stuff out, and you know, might as well show it off because Halloween only comes but once a year, right? So we'll probably do another one of these when it comes around to Christmas time again. We have a lot of things that we have done that are Christmas, like Walter's Nutcrackers. I have a little houses, gingerbread houses. Oh, that reminds me, I bought a gingerbread house thing back in August to make, and I haven't made it yet. This is an in the hoop.
Yeah, the
freestanding
gingerbread
quilt.
house is really nice.
Yeah, and they had a new model this year, and I bought it. It was on sale, so I always buy them when they're on sale. Okay, so that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, if you decide to take the plunge into this kind of thing as well with your embroidery machine, send us some pictures. We'll show them here on So Chatty for other people to enjoy. Okay, so have a good week, and we'll talk to you later. Say goodbye, Walter.
Goodbye, Walter.